Hi, good evening. Today we are going to discuss how we are going to harvest water or generate water anywhere. No matter where you're stuck, whether you're in the disaster recovery center, or you're stuck inside the house, whether your house is flooded, but you are in, say, on the top floor. Doesn't matter where you are. You're stuck in jungle, you're stuck in seashore, you're stuck in a ship, wherever you are. As long as you're alive and kicking, we can help you. So today we are going to cover one method, but I'll briefly cover what all can generate water. So first of all, let me just close this guy away. Right. So water can be generated from literally anything, like flowers. There are different procedure to generate water from. These are all edible flowers, nasturtium, roses, clove, and other stuff like that. Flowers once they dry becomes like this. So it has the advantage that these flowers, rose doesn't last that long, it start decaying in few days, but if you do this it will last forever, and it just goes to our DR centers. It can also be generated from fruits. So you can see fruits also don't last long, and we get a lot of fruits, probably 10 times than what our family can eat. So we do dry them, and again these fruits can last for decades, you can say that, because they are bone dry, they are not left like that. So these can now last, and they again go to our disaster recovery, because everywhere we get some fruits, but in some year we don't get fruit. You can see that this has been used this winter, because we didn't had so it's a sour thing. It can also be generated from leaf. So this is longwort, which is a miracle leaf, but again water can be generated. We get a lot of these. This just grows like wild, and it gets dried. And this is dandelion, again another wild leaf, which it also has the roots and everything inside it. So we can generate water even from thin air, even from dirty water, like sea water, dirty water. No matter how dirty the water is, best it can even be generated from live plant. The trees, this is in a packet, but trees goes no matter how dry it is, tree goes very deep, up to 30 to 60 feet deep. So no matter where you are stuck, even though it's very sunny, the trees can still be extracting water from the ground, and you can get it. And when it is dry, humidity is also very low, which means extracting water from thin air becomes difficult. It's not impossible, but it becomes difficult. So trees are a great source of water. We are going to cover that in this series. This is a series about survival. We help you ensure you live 140 healthy and fit, no matter what's happened, whether you're, as I said, whether it's a nuclear bomb, whether you are stuck in it, even something happens to me. Our centers are designed such a way that they can operate independently. We operate from US, India, and UK, so it's all independent. Thin air, live plant, it can even be generated from garbage. That's another beauty of it, right? So we can even generate from garbage. You have to make sure that so anything which is edible, there is a different procedure for generating water from non-edible things and edible things, right? Edible things, it's a lot easier because it's edible, right? So this is avocado seeds, avocado skins. These have little water, but they do have water. So what we are going to do today is cover how we generate from rainwater. So say you're in a flood. It's a pretty rainy season in India right now, and if it is flooding, right, so how do we generate water? So best thing is to use home. So you go to your roof. Usually roof in India is made from bricks and is plastered, so you have a lot of vessel all around your houses, right? So you will see that so what I do is I prep them up, like when it's not raining, they're all cleaned and ready to go, right? So basically when it starts raining, we just have to turn them upside down. They're ready to go, so yeah, and we have a procedures. So it basically, deeper the stuff, the more water it can hold. It depends on how much rain you get. Here we get, so just keep assembling it, and rainwater will fall on it. So you have to be careful while it's flooded, right? Biggest cause of disease spread is water, right? When it's flooded, all the garbage and sewage and everything from all high cities come to your house, right? It's all mixed. So the water which is flooding your house is dangerous. So you have to make sure that cleanliness is very, very important. So basically make sure, and we also will talk about pasteurization. Why is pasteurization necessary? No matter how careful you are, they still could be, because your entire thing is flooded, right? Everything is flooded, and there is a lot of splattering going on. There is rain falling in the streets, and which is splattering in you. So there is a possibility of contamination. That's why pasteurization is necessary. No matter the water is crystal clear, it will have some dirt, right? So you can see that it has something, it has gone through. That's why pasteurization. I will cover how we pasteurize. So this is the way, right? The rainwater will collect, and then we collect in a vessel. Yeah, so before we do that, we prep it, right? What we do, we use cloth. I can show you what we do. So never use tissue paper or anything like that, right? So this is basically a cotton towel, you can say. It's the old one. So we use this guy. Never use tissue paper. Tissue paper are contaminated, could be contaminated, right? This cloth, you can wash it with soap. You can reuse as many times till it goes away. Like you can use as a, so this is clean, and we clean. So when it rains, like what you can do is, when you do upside down, you could clean it, right? So you can let the first rain drop sometime, and then you can clean it as well. So that's what you have to make sure. Don't use tissue paper. It could have contamination. Tissue paper use deadly chemicals, and plus it also has deadly chemical which is formed during the process of making paper, dioxin and other stuff. Don't use any plastic things. The plastics again form microplastic which will seep into water, which will harm your health. You cannot buy from market. This is again very harmful for. So again, just to give you a background why we went into this process of harvesting my own water. It's a pretty crude method, you can say, because this was a quick solution when I came to know that the water in UK, I live in UK currently, is unfit for drinking. The tap water, even the bottled water, is full of microplastic. So the only way I can drink water in UK is glass bottle water, which costed me 145 rupees per litre, or 1.5 pound per litre, and I cannot afford that much money. So that's why we came up with what is a quick way to get water, clean, neat and clean water, and safe for drinking. There is a concern about this, there is a mineral. I'm a food engineer, so I will advise you to consult a nutrition. If you think that you are deficient in nutrition, or consult a food engineer, so they will plan your diet. But I don't recommend drinking dirty water to replenish your minerals requirement. Water from the tap is contaminated with pesticide, medicines, microplastic, Teflon. This is used, non-stick is used literally in many things now. So don't use any non-stick as well. You use only ceramic, steel or glass, right? Only use those vessels to collect your water. It could be anything, doesn't matter. Right, so you can see I spread them in a grass because it doesn't splatter here, because what has happened that when it rains, the water could splatter, right? The dirt could splatter in you. So either you have to do that, or you can use a concrete roof, or if you don't have a concrete roof, you can use bricks without holes, of course, like something like that, and that way it will not splatter, or if at least the bricks are clean. Make sure that it's pretty clean. Now let's come to pasteurization, right? So pasteurization, what we do? So pasteurization, we use something like this, right? We concentrate this is like a greenhouse. We fill it with some amount of water, and we have to raise the temperature to 72 degree for 15 seconds. That's all we need to do. 72 degree for 15 seconds. That will pasteurize and make sure that there is no harmful pathogens present in water, if at all it got contaminated. So what we do to enable it is, we can use reflector to reflect some of the sunlight. right? So it can become on its own, but if you reflect more sunlight on it, you can use some of the collection vessel itself to reflect some of the sulfur. If you don't like, you can also use aluminium sheets to reflect more sunlight and get the increase the temperature higher. You can use a thermometer. Be sure, don't be shy, because safety first comes first, right? We do use gravity method to make sure that even though it's collected, the air itself, right, it's polluted. So there's a lot of dirt in the air. So what we do, we ignore the first rain. So when it rains, the first rain, like for the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes, we don't collect it, like it's still like this. And then when we start turning it up, like this may have water or may not have water, we start cleaning it with, as I said, with a cotton cloth. So we quickly clothe it, we even turn it and then let it get wet, and then we wipe it with a cloth. That way anything comes, and we use couple of clothes, right? We have a lot of clothes and we keep washing them again and again. So that's the way to we collect clean water. Make sure there's no organic matter on it. Again, so how do we store the water? Once we get the water, we store them in glass bottles. So we clean them, we pasteurize them, and we goes in a glass bottle. Or if we run out of glass water, we store it in a steel container. This is all rainwater collected. And again, as the water gets old, it goes to my storage, and we have probably thousands of bottles lying in my store because they become old. They just lie around. Sometimes we do plant it to our plants, like you can see, pretty dry these days. Right. So in future, what we are going to do is, like, this is a rather crude method, but a very quick and effective method, right? Anything can store water, right? Rainwater, it's flooding. Why it is flooding? Because raining, and so there's a lot of water to drink, but you have to make sure that the water is drinkable. Pasteurization, 72 degree for 15 seconds is very important, right? You have to be careful with that. If you're cooking with your water, there's no problem. You don't need to pasteurize it because it's clean water. Sorry, you're cooking it, so it's going to boiling temperature, which is safe enough. Okay, we'll talk to you later then. Bye.